Big game breakdown is always live on sportsbookreview.com. Saturday night, the big one on ESPN, 5 o'clock Pacific. Virginia at North Carolina. It's number 14 against number 10. And projected line, North Carolina 4, 137. Cavs on a 1-3 straight up an ATS slide only win against Louisville. And they were down 3 starters in that game. Big problem in all losses this season. The Virginia offense goes cold in the second half.
Yeah, cold isn't even the word. Ice cold. I mean, look, you have London Parentes at 12.6 points per game. No one else in the team scores double digits. They haven't found a number 2 scorer. And in all of these games, lost to West Virginia, Pitt, Nova, Syracuse, Virginia Tech, Duke. The second half margins, 9 or more in all of those games, and 5 of them, double-digit margins where the offense just isn't working during crunch time. It's worth noting here, Paulie, with all the games we're talking about on today's show, we got 4 big game breakdowns for Saturday's college hoop slate. We have line guesstimates, projected numbers. We'll call them the Sportsbook point spread, has North Carolina 4 and 137. Obviously, we'll see what the opening numbers actually are and what the markets do. All we can do is give our best guesstimate of where the numbers are going to be. It's not, I wouldn't be shocked at all to see all of our lines off by a point or 2, but I don't expect them to be off by a whole lot. You know, Tony Bennett, I bet he wishes he could just make all the games stop at halftime because Virginia's been such a good first half point spread team, but not so much after the break.
North Carolina finally gets Pinson back in the starting lineup. He was 6-8 in the win against NC State, 4 assists, but now it's been a lot of this in college basketball. Now they lose Kenny Williams, 22 starts. He's out the rest of the season with a knee injury, DNP against NC State, but his defense will be missed. Roy Williams, quote, "I've said all year long that Kenny was our best perimeter defender. He really is. Some guys have to step up. Theo Pinson, Nate Britt, we've got to get better defensively because that is our best perimeter defender," end quote. Carolina likes to play fast. Virginia doesn't. This is going to be great where one team wants to run, the other team wants to slow it down.
Well, yeah, exactly. And the total is lined, I would say, it in a more Virginia range than a North Carolina range. But even Virginia, you're not seeing a lot of totals in the upper 130s. In North Carolina, you're certainly not seeing a whole lot of totals in this range. But seconds per shot, North Carolina 15. And they like to shoot early in the clock. They get out and run every chance they get. And Virginia dead last in the country in terms of how long it takes for them to take a shot on every possession. And it's really an interesting battle on the boards as well here. You have North Carolina, and we've talked about this, the Tar Heels offense. Their offense is dominating the offensive glass. They have rebounded 42.5% of their misses this season. That is the best offensive rebound rate in the country. But Virginia, they don't give up anything on the offensive glass, only allowing 23.2% of opposing rebounds to work their way back to the team that shot it. That's number 3 in the country. So the question is, and this is the central point for the handicap of this game, does North Carolina have the patience to work through the Virginia defense and get good shots, because they're not going to get a whole lot of their own misses, certainly not as many as they've been getting throughout the course of the ACC campaign.
Yep, and this Virginia defense hasn't played well in the second half, too. You mentioned the offense, but would they give up 40 points in the second half to Duke at home? And then they had all those issues that Sunday night game at Virginia Tech when they lost, and they couldn't. The penetration killed them in that game. Virginia Tech got a lot. I mean, it was wild to see a Virginia team give up that many easy baskets in those last 2 games.
Well, I mean, Duke can get hot, and I'm not looking at Virginia saying, they fell apart defensively. Tony Bennett and the fundamentals that he teaches on defense have been thoroughly installed in that program. If they have a bad game or a bad half or run into a buzzsaw where a team's just hitting shots, then I would expect that to be a short-term problem, not a long-term problem for the Cavaliers.
Go to SBRodds.com. Browse, compare, and shop live odds available at top online sportsbooks.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to SBRpicks.com.